Right, I thought I'd do a quick video this time of year because it's coming up to landscaping season. We're busy all year round. We're lucky enough to be busy all year round, but it's getting really busy now. Spring's in full swing, summer's just around the corner. You know, thought I'd do a video on pricing. Now, this video is going to be for those of you looking to get a project carried out this year. Any project, whether it be a patio, full garden makeover, anything, this video is for you. If not, it might be a bit long-winded, so feel free to scroll by. Now, I'll start with my personal wage, the labour charge. And it's not just a figure that I've plucked out the air or someone's told me that I should be earning or I read on the internet or anything like that. It's all calculated. Now, I've worked for a lot of years on the basis of 45 productive working weeks in the year. When you take into consideration delays, whether it be weather, delays on materials being delivered, skips, anything, holiday days, sick days, all that, 45 working weeks is realistic. Now, you multiply the 40 chargeable working hours in the week by the 45 weeks, you arrive at a figure of 1800 hours. Now, you take all your overheads, all your costs across the board, including personal, and including profit, and divide that by 1800, that's your hourly rate, and you just times that by 8 for your day rate. Now, the anatomy of a quote, I'll go out to a site survey, speak to the client, find out exactly what they want, what materials they're looking at using, and I'll go away, I'll work it all out, big material list, and then that's one figure, and then I estimate how long I think the job would take us, and that's the labour charge, which I'd add the labour charge on, and then send it off, and that's your quote. Now, a lot of people come back to me, say, James, can't you do it any cheaper? Can you knock this off? Can you do it like this? But there's ways of making the quotes cheaper, but my labour charge can't change, because that's what I need to survive and keep the business running. One way of reducing the quote cost is to drop the spec. Say you've gone for paving, for example, if you've gone for porcelain, use sandstone because it's cheaper. It'll drop the price of the quote, obviously, and that goes with anything. There's always ways to adapt to a given budget. And that's why I do prefer people to give me budgets, because I've got something to work to then, and I can build a garden. You can get what you want out of your garden for the budget. I'll do my very best to do that. Now, there are companies out there who will work for nothing, because they've got no overheads. There's just some guy, Barry from down the pub, he's just bought a van and he's set up a landscaping business, and he's working for peanuts, or beer money. You know what I'm trying to say. So that's a reduction on the labour cost, because it's not a very professional company, Now, the materials as well. Since COVID, I've seen a massive spike in shoddy materials being imported in, and people using them, to build your garden. Is really not good. Just use reputable merchants, and MKM Anlaby, big fan. They're lovely people in there as well, and they really look after me. Another thing, when you obviously a big company, they're going to get better discount rates because they buy more materials from them. But I've got a good rapport with not only MKM, but other merchants as well, and they do look after me on price. And if they look after me, I can look after you. You know how it works. Now, to avoid these other companies, it's best, if you're looking at getting a project carried out, it's best to go off recommendation. 95% of my work comes through recommendation. I'm deeply grateful for that. It's what I've always wanted, really. I worked hard for it. But recommendations, and if you don't know anybody who's had any work carried out, then look online. Don't just pick random companies out for a quote. Look at the reviews. But even with reviews, you've got to be careful, because there are businesses out there. I get approached quite a lot by businesses who sell reviews. So they'll put X amount of reviews on your Google page or your Facebook or whatever for a certain amount of money. Now that's making it difficult, that for the client who's looking for a decent company. So the best thing to do that I suggest is to get someone down who is reputable, who you think they look all right. You know, get them down, and you'll get a feel for them. And when they are there, when they're at the survey, quiz them. Now, go through the job in your mind, whatever they'll be doing. Ask them how deep they're going to dig the subgrade. You know, the clearance from the damp course. What material they're going to use for the sub base. The laying course depth, the mix ratio. Are they using full beds? They use bridge bond primer. What ratio of gradient are they going to use, and how are they going to calculate it? Things. Any landscaper that's worth your time will be able to fire those answers off, no problem. So yeah, I'd appreciate that, because it shows you care. You care about the work being done in your garden. Not just the quality of the finish, but the businesses you've chosen. It shows that you've not just chose businesses at random off Google, got a million quotes and picking the cheapest one, because people do that. You will be able, going back to labour charge as well, the experience and attention to detail of individuals will play a part in the cost of labour. But you will be able to differentiate an experienced landscaper by a not so experienced one. It'd be obvious the differences if you get them down for a survey. So yeah, I hope this video helps if you are looking for a project to be carried out, and if you are, please give me a ring. I'll pop down and we'll see what we can do for you. But I always recommend to get more than one quote anyway. You know, just then you can compare, because any decent landscaper should, in their quote, there should be specifications and method statements, and you can compare, so you get a price that's cheaper than another. You can compare the two quotes and make sure all the specs are the same in the method statements. It should tell you every fine little detail about what they're going to be doing in your garden and what materials they're going to be using. So there's a lot to think of, and it is a bit of a minefield, and I do feel for people who are trying to get quality work carried out, because like I said, there's people that have just set up and got on their horse and cart and gone to town. But it's frustrating for someone like me as well, who's worked very hard to build a business up, a reputable business. So I do appreciate you watching this video, and for those of you that are looking for work, I hope you take it on board what I'm trying to say. So yeah, take care, have a good rest of the year, and I'm going to go be ridiculously busy now. So I'll see you soon. Cheers.